and then try to disguise the whole thing as though he'd been murdered by black people. There's an Olsen's memorial at the town of Olsen, which says he was killed by black people or whatever. He wasn't. He was probably murdered by one of his own people and robbed. And the guy made it look like he was murdered by 3 black people. The guy that did the murder then confessed on his deathbed that he had done it. As Stefani Victor says, where else would you confess such a thing but on your deathbed? That type of thing. Now, some of that also came through email. Now, one of the advantages, I must admit, that Dr. Schnell did have, and it was the advantage that I had when I was doing my master's, that he would have had access to the newspaper archives in South African Library. It was wonderful. Down there in Cape Town, I used to go to the archives in '84. When I was tired in the afternoon, I'd go across the road to the South African Library. I'd have the newspaper that I wanted to read ordered for me, and it was there waiting for me, and I'd flip through these old newspapers, dusty stuff. And that's changed, you see. Everything's on microfilm now. So you've got to order the microfilm film, and we were, Rosanna and I were in the archive in South African Library in July last year, and we wanted to read 1858 British, what we call the King Williamstown Gazette, which is quite full of information, and it's gone. The microfilm is lost. So when are you going to get a replacement? Oh, not for at least another 3 months. To chip all the way down to Arnold to the archives again, to the South African Library again. From here, very, very costly. To see one microfilm, you can't do it. So in that sense, Dr. Schnell would have been lucky. But you see, there is luck. We speak about luck. Luck was on my side. Listen, in 1984, I was in the South African Library. I had my newspaper collection here, and next to me there was somebody, short, lumpy type of guy, who was working on the King Williamstown Gazette. And I looked at him and said, "What are you researching on?" Because we do talk to each other. Yeah, we do research. Sometimes we talk to each other. And I said to him, "What are you researching?" And he said, "King Williamstown." And I said, "Can I give you some advice? If you're doing something on King Williamstown, you've got to read a thesis by George Hofmeyr, who does a master's thesis on it." And he said, "I am George Hofmeyr." I met George Hofmeyr, who was then head of Monuments Council in Cape Town, and we became friends. I went to his place for dinner and so on. And I met him again in the archives in July, where he's still plodding away as he researched King Williamstown, and he discussed what I was doing as the German settlers now. He says, "Oh, I'm interested in them as regards King Williamstown, but you can have all my research." And he sent me an entire document, all his research looking at the King Williamstown Gazette, absolutely thorough, or footnoted absolutely accurately, so that missing for a microfilm, I didn't